It looks like we have everybody on the line. All right. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Joseph Monzo, 110992.
Oh. Monzo, good evening. You're being seen here on a citation out of the Tucson City Court for criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. I believe you're being held on a bond in another matter. So for this, I'm only dealing with the city court matter. On that, I'm going to set a hearing for you on September 5th at 9 a.m. And I'm going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. If you're still in custody, you may, your counsel may appear on your behalf, or you may be seen by the judge at the city court the same way you're being seen here today. But as far as tonight's concerned, you're all set, sir. You're going to receive paperwork. Please keep a hold of the copies and make sure and keep in touch with your attorneys, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
David Allen Breimer. Wait. Yeah, here. 11/13/82.
We've got this little episode. Please give you just 1 second, sir. Davis. Oh, there it is. Just have this one out of order. All right, Mr. Breimer, good evening. You're being seen here on a warrant that was issued by Judge Crystal Ann Foster of the Pima County Justice Court. This warrant relates to a charge of criminal trespass in the 2nd degree that was alleged to have occurred on May 9th of this year. I just want to remind you, you have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. It appears that's the only thing that's being we're being seen here tonight on. So on this matter, I'm going to set a hearing for you on July 17th at 8:30 in the morning in front of Judge Victoria Steele, the Pima County Justice Court. Can you make that hearing, sir?
What's the date again?
July 17th at 8:30 in the morning.
What's the date today?
Today's July 7th.
Yeah, I could try to make that date.
Well, it's not a matter of trying, so you either have to be there, or I may have to reconsider letting you releasing you on your own recognizance. So if you can assure me that you will be present for that hearing, I can release you. Otherwise, I'll have to hold you in custody, and I can schedule a sooner date for you. But my releasing you is going to be contingent on you assuring me that you're going to be present for that hearing on the 17th. If you can make that, then great. If not, then I have to hold you in custody. So can you be present for that hearing on the 17th?
Yeah, I can try to. I'll try to remember the date.
It's not Friday because I'll make it risk of function.
Is it here, this area, the court?
It's at the Pima County Justice Court building, which is in downtown Tucson. The
Okay.
address will be on the paperwork you'll receive. Can you be present for that date, sir?
I hope to be present on that day. Just to, remind myself or remember to go to it.
All right, sir. And that's all I have for you. You're excused.
Those are upstairs. We were. Garcia Francisco. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh. Oh.
Good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Francisco Garcia. Date of birth 06/02/1993.
All right, Mr. Garcia. One second, just need to confirm something here.
Yes, sir.
So you're being seen based on a warrant that was issued for your arrest. This relates to a charge of shoplifting. On this, Madam Garcia, I'm going to release you on promise that you can appear at the Pima County Justice Court on July 17th at 8:30 in the morning. Can you do that, sir?
Yes, sir.
I'll release you. I'm going to order that you not have any contact with the alleged victim in the case. I'm going to order that you not return to the incident location.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be seen at, again, 8:30 in the morning on July 17th in front of Judge Victoria Steele. You're going to receive copies of the paperwork. Please keep them.
Yes, sir.
Handy, and do not miss your hearing. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest and you can end up right back in custody. Okay?
Yes, sir. July 18th, you said?
That's July 17th.
17th.
July 17th at 8:30 in
Yes.
the morning. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. You're excused.
All right. Edwin.
Go down the steps that we got.
This one, back out here.
Back up. Hey, Dalton. Yes, Paul.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Dalton Hay, 6493.
All right. Mr. Hay, good evening. You're being seen here this evening on 3 different warrants that were issued by Judge Robert Foreman at the Pima County Justice Court. These relate to charges of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, theft, failing to appear, and fraudulent use of a credit card. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing Ms. Janet Altschuler to represent you. Her contact information is going to be on the paperwork you're going to be receiving. In your matter, sir, given the 3 cases and the issues involved, I'm going to honor the bond amount requested by Judge Foreman of $250. And I'm going to set a hearing for you for tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m.
Okay.
So if you do post a bond, then you need to appear tomorrow afternoon at Pima County Justice Court in downtown Tucson. You're going to be in front of Judge Foreman. If you don't post a bond, then you'll be seen again by Judge Foreman, much in the same way you're appearing in front of me by video. Ms. Altschuler will be notified, and hopefully you'll be on your way to getting released tomorrow. But for now, Again, I'm gonna hold you on the bond of $250. If you do post it, please make sure and attend your hearing. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Okay?
Thank you.
Outside, and we'll send it to rearrange. Ingram. Ingram.
Evening, Your Honor. I wrote something down too when I get a chance to read it to you.
Hang on.
Thank you.
All right, so what's your full name and date of birth?
Paul Andrew Ingram, 5/19/69, 1969.
Ingram. What's this? Is this gentleman also in the city? No, thank you. All right, Mr. Ingram, you're being seen here this evening based on a warrant that was issued for your arrest by Judge Robert Foreman on, I can't see the date of the, oh, I'm sorry, June 10th. And this relates to 3 charges of criminal damage and failing to appear in criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you.
I was actually I was in the hospital in the mental VA. The VA was one with. I was going to read it to you. Go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
For 1 second. Yeah. On this measure, the requested bond amount doesn't appear me to be sorry, 1 second. I'm just trying to clarify something. Okay, isn't clear. It's not clear to me. So on this matter, I'm going to set a hearing for you on July 17th at 8:30 in the morning.
I could do that. I can explain why too. I've got when I went to the VA hospital, I got.
That's all right, sir. You don't need to explain anything to me. All you need to do is promise me you'll appear at that hearing. Can you do that?
I promise you I'll be that here. I'm living in a boarding house now. I've got transportation. The guy, I took care of everything when I was in One West. I got really sick of screwed up.
Well, sir, then as long as you can promise me you'll be at the hearing on the 17th.
Yes, I can definitely be there, Your Honor. I will not let you down. I want to take care of this. I don't want any more recidivism either. I'm trying to take responsibility for my disabilities and not have any kind of shame there, you know. I've actually got like I've got the whole thing now. I've got a nurse, I've got a social worker, I've got a therapist, I've got a psychiatrist, I've got a boarding house. I got a brain injury, but the VA pays me for it. But I promise. Thanks very much.
1 second. And I'm sorry. Joe, can you confirm that Mr. Ingram's being held on another matter?
That's what I can explain to you about. She.
Hang on, sir. Again, you're. Hang on. I'm just asking a simple question. Please.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
just asking a question to Joe. Joe, can you confirm Mr. Ingram is being held?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I was trying to read this to her, but she was, I don't know, she wouldn't listen.
All right, thanks, sir. And I do apologize. I needed to clarify that.
No problem. I have it on my notes. I was going to tell you anyway.
That's okay. So because you're being held on the felony matter, I'm going to set a quicker hearing for you in this case.
Okay.
For tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m.
Okay, that can be that. I can explain to you.
Of $100. Sir, hang on. There's no need for explanation. I'm just going to tell you what's going to happen, and then we're going to move on. So
I really need to read this to you because I've been trying to read it to her and she wouldn't listen.
Well, sir, again, this isn't time to explain. I'm just going to tell you what's going to happen, and then we're going to move on. So first, I'm going to set a hearing for you for tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. You're going to be in front of Judge Foreman. You'll appear by a video. I'm going to appoint Mr. Christian Salter, who's a defense attorney. His contact information will be in the materials you receive from this hearing.
Okay.
He will assist you through this matter. And I'm going to impose a bond of $100 cash secured so that you can receive time credit if that's appropriate in your case.
That's what I need to read you. That's what I need to read you.
So you're being held
That's
on a
what I-
felony. I'm going to hold you on the bond in this case so that you can receive time credit if appropriate. I'm going to appoint an attorney and set the hearing for you for tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. And that's all we have, sir. If you have an explanation you'd like to give, you can give it to the judge. You'll see tomorrow, Judge Foreman, or to your attorney, Mr. Salter. But for now, that's all I have for you. So thank you very much and you're excused.
Your Honor, I've never been anything but screwed over here.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Defendants, September 17th, 1971.
All right, so you're being seen here today on a couple of different matters we'll go through in turn. The first two relate to warrants that were issued by the Pima County Justice Court in April of this year. And they relate to charges of criminal trespass in the third degree, criminal damage, and disorderly conduct from 2024. The last is a criminal matter from the Tucson City Court. And this relates to a charge of assault and disorderly conduct. On all these matters, sir, you do have a right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. On the, and let me just make sure and check one last thing.
I'll say something, Your Honor.
Well, hang on. Again, remember, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be used against you. All we're going to be doing today is deciding or giving you some dates so that you can hopefully get your matters resolved and get out of custody. So on the Justice Court matters, I'm going to set hearings for you on, I'm sorry, one hearing for you on both cases on July 17th at 8:30 in the morning. And if I release you, can you promise that you will appear at that hearing?
Yes, I can.
I'll release you and promise that you'll appear. I'm going to order that you not return to wherever this incident took place.
Yes, I will not return.
Thank you. So both hearings are going to be set for the 17th at 8:30 in the morning in front of Judge Victoria Steele. On your city court matter, I'm going to set a separate hearing for you on August the 11th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Maldonado at the Tucson City Court. I'm going to order that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victims, to include going to their place of work or residence. What I mean by that is you're not to contact the alleged victim in any way either directly or through a third party, either in person or by text, telephone, or email. Do you understand all that, sir?
I understand all that. And yes, I'll make the court date.
Then you'll receive paperwork or copies of the paperwork. Please keep track of them. And please, above all else, do not miss your court dates. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest and you can end up right back in custody. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. You're excused.
Six steps. Okay. Hold on. Thank you.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Epstein the fifth.
Okay. Well, sir, so just so you're aware, this is the time set for your initial appearance. So at this hearing, we're not talking about guilt or innocence. We're only talking about whether or not you're going to be released from custody. And if so, what conditions are going to apply. So I'll ask you again. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Gregory Allen Bloomdahl the second, 12/26/79.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bloomdahl. Again, this time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here today on two charges. One is criminal trespass in the third degree, and the other is disorderly conduct. You are presumed innocent of any charges, and I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf to both these charges. I'm going to advise you do have a right to an attorney, and one may be appointed to you or secured by at your own expense. In your matter, sir, I'm going to set a hearing for you on August the 6th at the Tucson City Court in front of Judge Hale. Can you appear at that hearing, sir?
Currently, I'm homeless and I have no employment.
Okay, well, it doesn't, entry to the Tucson City Court doesn't cost you anything, and it's located in downtown Tucson.
The transportation in this town is very horrible, sir. I don't have a vehicle. I don't have a bike. I don't have any kind of transportation. The only transportation I have in this town or in this state is on my feet. And I'm telling you, it's very, very dangerous.
Well, sir, all I'm asking is, can you appear at the Tucson City Court in downtown Tucson?
I can't answer that question because I don't know.
Okay. Well, sir.
I'm not in a place where I feel comfortable to where I can go and collect myself and prepare myself to deal with what I'm dealing with.
Okay. All right, sir.
I'm not a danger to myself. I'm not a danger to others. I've been in the mental health ward system.
Yes, sir. 1 second. All right, sir. Rather than schedule the hearing for you on August the 6th, I'm going to set a different hearing for you on July 15th, so 8 days from today.
Hey, thank you, Your Honor.
And I'm going to set it at 1:45 in the afternoon, again in front of Judge Hale. I'm going to impose a bond of $750 and order that if the bond is posted, it can be either cash or secured, that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victims, to include going to where this incident allegedly took place. I'm also going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Their contact information will be in the paperwork you receive. If you're still in custody at the time of your hearing, you'll be seen by Judge Hale in the same way you're appearing in front of me. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you. You're excused.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Yes, Chase Lang, February 23rd, 1988.
Mr. Cohen, you're being seen here on 3 different charges. One is charge of domestic violence assault. The other is criminal tampering or impairing use of phone. And the last is disorderly conduct, domestic violence disorderly conduct, excuse me. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be used against you. And let me just double check one thing. In your case, sir, I'm gonna set a hearing for you on August the 12th at 1:30 in the afternoon in front of Judge Wendy Million at the Tucson City Court. Can you make that hearing, sir?
Yes, I can.
Then I will release you on promise you'll appear and that you promise to do the following. 1, not possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. 2, not commit any acts of domestic violence. And 3, obviously, that you will promise to appear. The alleged victim in this case was contacted by pretrial services and indicated that they are willing to have further contact with you and welcome you back to the home. So I'm not going to order that you have no contact. However, I will remind you that if you do have any interactions with the alleged victim, they need to be respectful, peaceful, and that they can change their mind about having contact with you at any time. Do you understand all that?
Completely understand, Your Honor.
Then I'm not going to order no contact, but I will, all the other conditions will apply. You'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and attend your hearing on the 12th. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Okay?
And you said 1:30 p.m., is that correct?
Yeah. 1:30 in the afternoon.
Thank you so much. And just so can I ask one more question? Which courthouse am I supposed to go to so I don't?
It's going to be the Tucson City Court in downtown Tucson on West Alameda. Okay? And the address will be in the paper. All right?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Have a good night.
Same thing.
Davis.
Oh, no, not something. David.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Hi, Jamie Elizabeth Davis, August 18th of 89.
All right, Ms. Davis, you're being seen here for on several matters out of the Tucson City Court related to charges of criminal trespass, possession of drug paraphernalia, and I'm sorry, criminal trespass in the 1st degree and criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. I believe you're being held on a separate matter. So on these city court matters, I'm going to set a hearing for you in September. So September 5th at 9 a.m. in front of Judge Cranshaw at the Tucson City Court. And I'm also going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. If you're still in custody at the time of your hearing, you may be seen by the judge much the same way you're being seen by me here tonight, or your attorneys may appear without your presence, I should say. So if you are out of custody, please make sure and contact your attorneys as soon as possible, and please attend your hearing. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're excused.
What's that? What women say again?
Robinson.
Robinson. Robinson?
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Damian Robinson, April 15th, 2003.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. You're being seen here tonight on 2 charges. One is criminal trespass in the first, I'm sorry, domestic violence, criminal trespass in the 1st degree, and disorderly conduct, domestic violence, disorderly conduct. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, which you may obtain at your own expense, or it may one may be appointed to you by the court based on your circumstances. On this matter, I'm going to set a hearing for you on August the 4th at 2 p.m. in front of Judge Maldonado at the Tucson City Court in downtown Tucson. Can you promise me you will appear at that hearing, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then I'll release you on your promise, and I'll promise that you will not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, that you will not commit any acts of domestic violence, and most importantly, you will not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim, to include going to where they work or live. Can you promise all that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Just to clarify, you don't reside with the alleged victim, do you?
How do you mean?
Do you live with the alleged victim?
No.
Okay, good. Then hopefully it should be easy for you to avoid contact. Also want to remind you that, again, you are presumed innocent of the charges, and I am entering pleas of not guilty on your behalf. You also have a right to attend all hearings in this case, to include a trial. Again, you are presumed innocent, and the burden of proving you guilty is on the state. That burden is to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. However, if you fail to attend any of your hearings, you could face new charges, and those hearings, including that trial, could proceed in your absence. If a trial proceeds in your absence and you're found guilty, you may also lose your right to appeal that conviction if you're unable to be sentenced within 90 days because of your own absence. Do you understand all that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then you'll be released later this evening. Please make sure and keep the copies of the paperwork you'll receive. And above all else, make sure you're at that hearing so you don't end up back in custody, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're excused.
Swinton.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Brent Dane Swinson,
And your date of birth?
July 13, 1990.
Mr. Splinton, you're being seen here today on several warrants that were issued for your arrest at the Tucson City Court related to criminal trespass, possession of drug paraphernalia, domestic violence, interfering with judicial proceeding, criminal damage, criminal trespass in the 1st and 3rd degree, and disorderly conduct. To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. In this matter, I'm going to honor the judge who issued the warrants request for bond, and I'm going to hold you on a bond of $2,500 cash secured. And I'm going to set a hearing for you on July 15th, so 8 days from today, at 1:45 in the afternoon in front of Judge Hale. I'm also going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. If you happen to be in custody at the time of your hearing, you'll be seen by Judge Hale via video, the same way you're appearing tonight. If you're not in custody, then I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, that you have no contact of any kind with the alleged victims, to include going to the place, their place of work or residence. And that should be it, sir. So if you're in custody, you'll again be seen by the judge on video. If not, please make sure and be at the courthouse in downtown Tucson on the 15th. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. You're excused.
Okay.
Here. This is the jail. We're just letting you know that Anthony Angulo refused court today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Jeffrey Marshall Love, 9/11/86.
Good evening. This time, Steph, your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on charges of criminal trespass in the first degree. I'm sorry, two charges of criminal trespass in the first degree. One charge of possession of a dangerous drug, and one charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. I'd remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated next to you is going to be representing you for purpose of this hearing. So if you have any questions or concerns, please talk with your attorney before saying anything out loud. Do you understand? Do you understand, sir?
Yes.
Thank you. Didn't look pretrial services, didn't note any holds. Mr. Love was rated a 6 and a 4 on the NCAA FTA scales. Unfortunately, references couldn't be contacted. I do note the 6 prior felony convictions. County Attorney's Office recommendation is $10,000 bond plus trial services. Anything to add from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
And defense.
Judge, I will note he did confirm with me that he does have the address listed he can return to. He has been working part-time at the time of this arrest. Without getting too much into the facts of the case, I mean, this is a non-violent offense. It's not to minimize the alleged victim's concern over this. Somebody wandering into your house obviously would be something very concerning. Without any that's what happened here. We take a complaint, fully as true. There's no indication of any violence, threats of violence that he posed any threat. This is clearly tied to drug usage, given his possession. He does have, as the court already kind of noted, he does have some felony history. There's nothing we can do about that. It is what it is. But I will note that his last charge was 5 years ago. It was a domestic violence, but the vast majority of his recent issues have been drug related. Like I said, he has not picked up. This is his first new charge in 5 years. He's been out of custody since June of 23, successfully completed parole. So he's got 2 years that he's been a fairly I'm not going to say upstanding by any stretch given his history, but productive member of society. There doesn't appear to be any tremendous risk here for him to be a danger to the community. And as far as showing up again for court, like I said, he does have some track record to show that he is capable of getting his life on track. So we'd ask the court to consider release to pretrial services. Failing that, the $10,000 bond is well outside of his needs. We would ask something more in the neighborhood between $500 to $5,000.
And I will impose a bond of $5,000 cash or secured, and order that if the bond is posted, that Mr. Love submit to supervision and monitoring by pretrial services. And Mr. Love, I'm going to order that you not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victims, to include going to where this occurred. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing for you on July 17th at 1:30 in the afternoon. So, sir, you're not going to be released this evening unless you're able to post a bond. If you are able to post a bond, please contact pretrial services as soon as possible, as well as your attorneys, and stay in contact with them throughout the pendency of this case. Otherwise, you can end up right back in custody, okay? Thank you very much, sir. You're excused. And do we have the Spanish interpreter on?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Buenos días, señor. Buenas tardes, perdón. Dígame su nombre completo y su fecha de nacimiento, por favor.
Francisco Antonio López Rivas, octubre 23 de 1980.
My name is Francisco Antonio Lopez Rivas. My birth date is October 26th of 73.
23.
October 23rd, 78, excuse me, Your Honor.
Sir, can you repeat that again? Sir, sorry, sir. Can you please repeat your date of birth?
Señor, repítame su fecha de nacimiento, por favor.
23 de octubre de 1980.
23rd of October of 1980.
Thank you. Sir,
Gracias.
you're being seen here today based on a warrant that was issued for your arrest out of the state of Mississippi.
Señor, lo estamos viendo esta tarde por orden de detención por prófugo emitido por el estado de Mississippi.
To remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you.
Les recuerdo que todo lo que diga podrá ser
You also have the
el
right.
derecho de guardar silencio.
You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you.
También tiene derecho a representación de abogado, designo de abogado de oficio del defensor legal del condado Pima para que se encargue de su defensa.
The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing. So if you have any questions, please talk with your attorney before saying anything out loud.
El abogado sentado al lado suyo está aquí para ayudarle en esta audiencia del día de hoy. Así es que tiene alguna pregunta, alguna duda, pregúntaselo a él antes de decir cualquier cosa.
Gracias, señoría.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Taking a look at pretrial services report, note that Mr. Lopez Rivas does have an ICE hold.
Estoy viendo el informe de las indagaciones previas al juicio del Departamento de Servicios previos al juicio y se nota que también tiene usted en contra suya una orden de detención emitida por el Departamento de Inmigración y Administración de Aduanas, ICE.
But otherwise, he was rated as a 1-1 on the NCAA FTA scales and had no felony history.
Y aparte de eso, la puntuación es del 1 de la designación de la escala de actividad nueva delictiva y tampoco tiene ningunos antecedentes por delitos graves.
County attorney's recommendation was $75,000 cash bond.
La Fiscalía recomienda fianza de $7,500, ya sea dinero en efectivo o garantizado por propiedad.
Anything else from the state?
Now you're on, I'll defer to my rating.
Thank you.
Y el abogado de la Fiscalía dice que no tiene más que comentar, se lo deja a lo que se le mandó por escrito al juez.
In defense?
Judge,
¿Defensa?
a couple of things. The court's already noted he scores incredibly low on the scales, has no felony history whatsoever.
El abogado defensor dice que primeramente el juez ya notó que anota muy bajo en la imputación de actividad nueva delictiva o antecedentes.
I'll also note that the warrant in this case it appears based on pretrial services investigation, he was never even arrested. So I don't know how Mississippi handles it, but it looks akin to when you do a direct indictment.
Y lo que se nota respecto al orden de detención del estado de Mississippi es que según el informe de las denegaciones previas a los servicios previos al juicio, que ni fue detenido el señor. Así es que pienso que lo manejaríamos tal como se hace aquí, es decir, simplemente una querella directa y acusación formal directa.
Which, frankly, our history of notifying people in direct indictment is somewhat lousy, since literally all the court does is drop a letter to them with a copy of the indictment.
Lo que se nota es que lo que estamos nosotros con este tipo de asuntos es simplemente se le emita una orden de la acusación directa al Estado que lo procura y, y es todo realmente. Go ahead.
I don't know if Mississippi's similar, but bottom line is with that kind of history in mind, and assuming Mississippi is something similar, it is quite plausible that the radios existed.
Así es que no estamos enterados y que de hecho Mississippi opera de la misma manera que nosotros, pero es muy posible que el señor ni sabía que existía tal orden de detención en contra suya.
With all that in mind, normally I would be asking for a release ROR to allow him to take care of that.
Y normalmente, bajo las mejores circunstancias, lo que recomendaría yo es libertad bajo palabra con la garantía personal del señor que regresaría al estado de Mississippi para responder a estas órdenes de detención.
My one concern in this case is that it's false.
Porque sí me preocupa en este asunto del día de hoy es que existe esta orden de detención en contra de él por el Departamento de Inmigración.
Given the nature of ICE's enforcement activities lately, I think there's a high probability if he gets released, they'll pick him up until, frankly, vanish.
Y francamente, en vista de las políticas recientes del Departamento de Inmigración con respecto a detenciones, lo que pienso que ocurrirá es que pasaría la custodia de ellos y realmente desaparecería.
With that in mind, I would still suggest he be released ROR, but if the interpreter could ask him if I would also argue if he wants, if it's more convenient for him, to also propose a smaller, more nominal bond, just so that he could get transported to Mississippi and actually remain in the local custody before he gets swept up by the feds.
Entonces lo que recomendaría yo, y tal vez el intérprete pueda preguntarle al señor, es que realmente lo que pediría yo es una fianza alcanzable, nominal, para que pudiera depositar el dinero él o seguir detenido hasta que fuera trasladado a las autoridades de Mississippi para que pasara directamente a ellos sin tener que tratar con la agencia de inmigración. ¿Qué le parece eso a usted, señor? Y de no ser así, si no se considera factible eso, lo que pido yo es que se le libere bajo palabra su garantía personal de hacer los arreglos para presentarse en Mississippi él mismo.
Okay. All right, I'm going to impose a $5,000 cash bond.
Pues bien, dice el juez que voy a imponer una fianza de $5,000 en dinero en efectivo.
And set a hearing for the 11th at 2:30 in the afternoon at the Superior Court.
Y se pacta la siguiente audiencia a las 2:30 de la tarde, el 11 de julio, en el Tribunal Superior.
So, Mr. Lopez, sorry, go ahead.
Judge, if the interpreter could just inform him that prior to and at that hearing, his attorney will be able to reassess his release once this has, whether we have his attorney has more information on the case.
Lo que pide el abogado defensor es que se le comunique por medio del intérprete que antes de esa siguiente audiencia, el 11 de julio a las 2:30, el abogado asignado en su caso indagará un poco más de las condiciones posibles de libertad antes de hacer esa audiencia.
All right, Mr. Lopez Vivas, you're going to be held on the bond. If you do post a bond, please keep in mind that you may not be released on your own recognizance, but you may be turned over to federal authorities.
Bueno, señor Rivas, le recuerdo, la fianza se impone de $5,000 y si no necesita la fianza, debe recordar usted que en lugar de realmente salir libre bajo palabra, la probabilidad es que pase usted directamente la custodia a las manos de inmigración.
Otherwise, you'll be seen by judge on the 11th at 2:30 in the afternoon.
De otra manera, la juez Miller lo verá usted a las 2:30 de la tarde, el 11 de julio.
And that's all I have, sir. Thank you. You're excused.
Esto por hoy, señor, puede retirarse. Gracias.
Munoz.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Buenas tardes, ¿podría darme su nombre completo y su fecha de nacimiento, por favor?
Adriana Muñoz, julio 19 del 84, 1984.
Adriana Munoz, July 19th of 1984.
Ms. Munoz. Evening. You're being seen here today on charges of felony shoplifting, as well as misdemeanor
Bueno, señor,
shoplifting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
was that a misdemeanor or felony, Your Honor?
There's misdemeanor and felony charges.
Señora Muñoz, le estamos viendo aquí por acusaciones de robo de tiendas, por delito mayor y delito grave a la vez.
Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you.
Le recuerdo que tiene usted el derecho de guardar silencio. Cualquier cosa que diga podrá y será saber en contra suya.
You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you.
También tiene derecho a representación legal. Designo al abogado de oficio del condado Pima para que le represente.
The attorney seated next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing, so if you have any questions, please talk with your attorney before saying anything out loud.
El abogado sentado al lado suyo está aquí para ayudarle en esta audiencia. Así es que si tiene alguna pregunta o duda, pregúnteselo a él antes de pronunciar cualquier cosa en voz alta.
You know, I want the pretrial service did note that Ms. Munoz has any other holds or wounds.
Where did you released?
He was a 1-on-1 on the NCAA FDA scales. Had no criminal history. And did have connections to the community confirmed by reference.
Lo que dice el juez es que se nota por las indagaciones de los servicios previos al juicio que usted tuvo puntuaciones bajas en la escala de actividad nueva delictiva y faltas de comparecencia y que no tiene antecedentes penales realmente y que se han comprobado los vínculos a la comunidad aquí.
And the attorney's office recommendation was for $10,000 bond plus pretrial services.
La fiscalía recomendaba fianza de $10,000 más supervisión por la agencia de servicios previos al juicio.
Anything to add from the state?
Judge, I just note that normally this is a case where I would recommend pretrial services release alone, but the interim complaint noted 32 shoplifting incidents since January. So because of that high number, I'm asking for a bond to be imposed.
Lo que responde el fiscal a la pregunta del juez y que tiene más es que normalmente recomendaría simplemente la supervisión por la agencia de servicios previos al juicio. Pero al ver el informe aquí se ve que los antecedentes de la señora indican 32 incidentes de ratería de tiendas desde el mes de enero. Así es que por eso es que pide tal cantidad de fianza.
Thank you. Defense?
Judge, so first off, I don't want to necessarily litigate the facts of the case too much. I know that's not why we're
El abogado responde que no quiere litigar el caso aquí porque sabe que no es para esto esta audiencia.
but Ms. Munoz obviously disputes all the shoplifts in this case level around, especially the 32.
Y la señora Muñoz responde que está en disputa de la cantidad que existan 32 acusaciones distintas de ratería de tiendas y hasta la misma acusación original.
And I will also note, based off the interim complaint, it looks like in this particular case, the 32 are essentially what Walmart told the police. I don't see any independent identification verification that she was the one in all 32 of these incidents, or any specific information as to the particulars of any of the prior incidents aside from the one she was actually arrested on.
Y lo que añade el señor defensor es que dice, basado en la querella inicial, el informe formal de esto, Dice que no se ve ninguna documentación de que existan 32 incidentes distintos. Es más, eso lo informó la agencia o la tienda Walmart, sin ninguna verificación de la cantidad de incidentes. Y la señora dice que, bueno, simplemente llegaron a los 32 basado en el incidente original y puede tener a la señora Munoz.
And if we take everything, again, even if we take everything verbatim as true stated in the complaint, we're still only talking about a total of about $1,500 that Walmart could account for. They said potentially more, but that's what we got.
Y aunque tomáramos por hecho lo que se comenta en la querella inicial, de hecho, la cantidad del monto total de los daños solamente llega a la cantidad de 1,500, de lo que podría confirmar la Walmart, de hecho.
And while I'm sure the accountants at Walmart are highly traumatized by the hit to the bottom line, this is not significant harm to the community, even if we take it as it's worth. She does not, there's nothing in her indication poses future risk with proper restrictions. So with all that, we would be strongly requesting release of criminal services.
Y aunque aceptáramos lo que comentarían los actuarios y los contadores de Walmart, que están traumatizados y traumados por el daño que le pone la señora por sus acciones delictivas, de hecho, no se posa ningún peligro real a la comunidad. No se ve nada que exista como daño a la comunidad, y nosotros hacemos hincapié a recomendar que se le dé libertad por la Agencia de Servicios Previos al Juicio, Free Trial Services.
Thank you. I'm going to order Ms. Munoz released to pretrial services and order that she submit to any monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services.
Lo que voy a hacer es sí permitirle la libertad bajo la supervisión de la Agencia de Servicios Previos al Juicio. Y ordeno que la señora Muñoz se someta a monitoreo o tratamientos como se recomiende por la Agencia de Servicios Previos al Juicio.
I'm going to order that Ms. Munoz do not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victim to include going to where, to include going to any Walmart located in Pima County.
También le voy a prohibir contacto y comunicación con las víctimas que se alegan, es decir, se le prohíbe regresar a cualquier Walmart en el condado Pima.
I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for you for July 28th at 1:30 in the afternoon.
El pacto de la siguiente audiencia es audiencia preliminar para el 28 de julio a la 1:30 por la tarde.
And that's all I have for you, ma'am. Thank you. You're excused.
Y esto por hoy, señora, puede retirarse. Gracias. And Your Honor, the interpreter believes those were the two Spanish-speaking matters on the schedule for this evening.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm, Joe, we don't have any other Spanish speakers, do we?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. And the interpreter is excused. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. You too.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Ismael Cesena Shinoi Jr. October 21st, 1957. Lugo. Yes.
All right. Good evening, sir. This is the time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here today on two different matters. The first involves a felony complaint alleging possession of a dangerous drug, possession of a narcotic drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, and 4 counts of misdemeanor disorderly conduct. The second involves a charge of misdemeanor assault, criminal trespass in 3rd degree, and disorderly conduct. Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing, so if you have any questions or concerns, please talk with your attorney before saying anything out loud. Do you understand? believe we're on mute. Sir, do you understand?
I understand. You understand the National Guard's coming to get me out. I'm the Commander General of them.
Okay. All right. Pretrial services report for Mr. Sena. I don't note any other holds. I do note he has a 6 and a 6 on the NCFTA scales. It does appear to be steps diversion eligible, and does have a felony history. Most recently, a designated misdemeanor, but most recent charge is 2023. County Attorney's Office recommendation with pretrial services release. Anything to add from the state?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Defense, I am inclined to release Mr. Sena to pretrial services and schedule a steps hearing. However, if you'd like a minute to talk with him about steps evaluation, please feel free.
I will attempt to. Talk 1 second.
Go right ahead. And you can mute the microphone if you need to.
Yeah. Let me. Yes, he's willing to enter into steps and show back the steps here.
And is willing to waive time for the preliminary hearing.
Here's my concern on that, Judge. I'm not sure that he fully appreciates his rights as far as waiving time. Let me just see. Are you willing to give up your right just so that they can have the hearing to see about this?
You guys gonna hear some bombs hit the building.
I know he needs to waive, but given some sort of Rule 11 concerns, I think
yes.
I think what I might ask, if in the interest of justice,
Fire.
the court can find
Fire.
extraordinary circumstances.
Yes.
Because I don't think I can wait given his state.
Okay. Can't any concern or note you'd like to make on that?
No, Your Honor. I think if the court can make a finding that extraordinary circumstances exist and the delay is indispensable, I think that makes sense here, given what we've seen over the last few minutes.
Thank you. Based on my own observations during this hearing and concerns raised by defense counsel, I do find that it is in the interest of justice to waive to extend time for preliminary hearing. I will set it for August the 21st at 1:30. Obviously, barring any sort of Rule 11 matters that the Public Defender's Office wishes to raise. I'll also set a steps hearing for July 14th at 9 a.m. I'm likewise going to order that Mr. Sena be under the supervision and treatment of pretrial services, and above all else, not have any contact of any kind with the alleged victims, to include going to their work or residence. So, sir, you're going to be released to pretrial services. They are going to be monitoring you and keeping you up to date on the next steps and stages of your case. Please contact them as soon as you are released. Please contact the Public Defender's Office to understand what you need to be doing to prepare for your next hearings. And on your last matter, the city court matter, I'm going to set another hearing for you 6th at 2 p.m. in front of Judge Cranshaw at the Tucson City Court. I'm likewise going to release you on that matter And I will appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to note Defense Counsel's concerns about possible Rule 11 issues. I'm likewise going to order no contact with the victims or Mr. Senna. So, sir, you're going to be released. You're going to have some court dates coming up. Please make sure and attend all of them. Please keep in touch with your attorneys and do not miss any court dates. Otherwise, a warrant could issue for your arrest and you can end up right back in custody. Thank you very much, sir. You're excused. Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Ingram Chacon Jr., 11/13/91.
All right, Mr. Strickland. Good evening. This time set for your initial appearance. You're being seen here today on two charges. One, possession of a narcotic drug, and the other, possession of drug paraphernalia. Remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The gentleman seated to your left is going to be assisting you throughout this hearing. So if you have any questions or concerns, please speak with him before saying anything out loud, okay? Just note for pretrial services, did note that there was a probation violation warrant and a hold. County Attorney's Office is recommending $1,000 bond for time credit and a steps hearing. Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Defense counsel?
Given the probation hold, we'll defer.
And on steps evaluation? Is Mr. Cohen interested in being evaluated for the steps program?
One second, let me ask her.
One thing is you're right. Like I said, it'll be something your prevention stuff. You have to think that just schedule this.
Yeah, she's okay with that, right?
Then I will impose a bond $1,000 cash secured for time credit purposes. And I'll schedule a steps hearing for July 14th at 9 a.m. and a preliminary hearing for July 17th at 1:30 p.m. So, Mr. Gunn, you're not going to be released because of the hold that's been put on you by adult probation. You will have a couple of hearings for this matter. Hopefully, the steps evaluation goes well and you're able to dispose of this case in an altered manner. If not, then the preliminary hearing date for you will be on the 17th. All right, sir, that's all I have for you. Thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
It's my grandfather is finally taking me back home. I used to stop the drugs.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Robert Gerard Elmore Jr.
Mr. Elmore, sorry. You're being seen here this evening based on two charges, one felony shoplifting, the other possession of a narcotic drug. Remind you, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing, so if you have any questions or concerns, please talk with him before saying anything out loud. Do you understand? I'm sorry, sir, do you understand?
Excuse me?
Do you understand what I just said?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Look, Trial Services didn't note any holds. There is a notation of warrants and misdemeanor probation. And Jay, just confirm is there a DOC hold for Mr. Elmore? Thank you. All right. And pretrial services did note 5 and 5 on the NCA FTA scales. County Attorney's Office recommendation was $10,000 plus pretrial services. Anything to add from the state?
Thank you.
Thank you. Defense?
Judge, it's a little bit of a difficult situation on this one. I will note the underlying charge here obviously is completely non-violent and also, quite frankly, pretty minimum. It's something I'm not exactly entirely sure that there is probable cause for it to be a felony shop. I guess based on his priors is the rationale. We're talking about $22, $23 worth of this that he was alleged to have stole. So this is hardly the crime of the century. He did have what was clearly a personal use of fentanyl. There's no real indication of any violent history whatsoever. It's shoplift and trespasses and all the things that we normally associate with drugs since 2016. That's a non kind of drug related crime. That being said, he, as the jail did note, he does have a DOC hold. We would generally ask. I would generally ask for release of pretrial services. He did confirm with me he has residence with his grandfather. So he does have a place to stay given the nature of the charges. I don't think he poses a threat to the community, given the fact that he's on parole. That is another way to, if he does get placed back on parole from the DOC hold, that's another way to ensure that people comply. But obviously, he would likely be picked up by DOC to have his status by DOC if the court does do that. So I would ask, I do think that is the proper way to do it. I would ask for release of pretrial services, let him figure out stuff with DOC and go from here. But if the court is at all concerned about the DOC for that is misdemeanor, then I would ask that bond be imposed in this case, much less than the state is asking for. But we will ensure that it does get to the credit on this while the other things are figured out.
Thank you. I will impose a bond of $1,000 cash and order pretrial services released if Mr. Elmore is able to post the bond. I'm going to order that not possess, consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, and that he not return to the incident locations. I'm going to set the preliminary hearing date for July 17th at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, thank you very much, sir. You're excused.
Yes.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Nicholas Lewis, 13184.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. You're being seen here tonight based on 3 charges: possession of a dangerous drug, possession of a narcotic drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointed the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be representing you for purposes of this hearing. If you have any questions or concerns, please talk with him before saying anything out loud. You understand, sir?
Yes.
I do know pretrial services did indicate that there is an adult probation hold for Mr. Lewis. County Attorney's Office recommendation is $1,000 bond for time credit and a step court evaluation. Anything else happen from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. And defense?
Given the additional.
Okay, thank you. Is your client interested in participating in the step support evaluation?
Let me check with him on it.
That information. The judge is going to follow up this so you can get the probation stuff. As far as the new case, well, you're eligible for diversion. So what the judge wants to know is, are you okay with giving the state a little time before they actually formally charge you? So they put you in a diversion program instead of charging. Are you okay for giving that time?
Yeah, he's fine. He wants to do steps and he's fine with waiving the time for the PH.
Okay, well, then I'll schedule a preliminary hearing for July 14th at 9 a.m. And I'll schedule a preliminary hearing for August 21st. At 1:30 p.m. And I'm sorry, I will impose a bond of $1,000 cash secured and order that Mr. Lewis be under the supervision of pretrial services if bond is posted, and obviously if he were released from his other hold. All right, sir. Thank you very much, Ms. Lewis. You're excused.
Go down the stairs again. Mohammed.
All right, good evening, sir. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Yes, sir. Rashad Muhammad. My date of birth is 11/08/89.
Thank you, sir. You're being seen here tonight on a based on a felony warrant that was issued, excuse me, by the state of Georgia.
Tennessee.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. This is by the 16th Judicial District of Tennessee.
Yes.
And this relates to a violation of probation. To remind you, sir, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm going to appoint the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing. So if you have any questions or concerns, please talk to them first, okay?
Yes, sir.
There seemed to be a little bit of confusion about the matter, but I did receive an updated interim complaint from the Tucson Police Department that included a letter from the District Attorney General from the 16th Judicial District, I believe, Jennings H. Jones, is dated today, advising that the district is prepared to extradite Mr. Muhammad. And county attorney is requesting no bond. Anything further from the state?
Judge, I would just note that per 133856, I believe the court shall hold him without bond because it's a violation of probation. So I'm asking the court to impose that. Thank you.
Thank you. Defense.
Let me speak with him briefly here. Let him know what's going on.
Go ahead.
It's a post conviction warrants or probation warrant. So it doesn't have the errors and such. It's a choice, but for 7 minutes to this. If they don't think they have to be released, you're ready to train us on that. Make sure that it's not stuff. That's the statutes right. So, what is it's I do that so call it's in 2 weeks.
I was just explaining him the process to him, Your Honor, given that it is a post adjudication. Mr. Dance.
Yep. Thank you. And I'm going.
Hold on 1 second. He had a question.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm like the social matter for my family. Like I've been in trouble or experience. And the problem is it's like doing the statute. So don't take the major weeks. You get something like the next machines. It doesn't have any.
Anyway, Your Honor, he was speaking to me about issues. He said he has to talk to his assigned attorney. That his hands are tied, basically, on what to deny.
Yes. And Mr. Muhammad, I am going to hold you without bond, given the nature of your circumstances. I'm going to schedule a hearing, though, just so that your assigned attorney can more properly review the case and advise you about what may be coming next. I'm going to set the hearing for July 11th at 2:30 in the afternoon. So you're going to be held in custody until that time. Please make sure and contact your attorney or keep in touch with your attorneys so that you can be up to date on the next steps in your case, okay? That's all I have to do. Thank you.
Okay.
Bobby. Bobby.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Edwin Joseph Potay, 22380.
Thank you, Mr. Potay. This is time step your initial appearance. You're being seen here this evening on a couple of interim complaints alleging possession of a narcotic drug, possession of a dangerous drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. One interim complaint alleges offenses on July the 1st, and the other one from earlier today. Remind you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointed the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you in both of these cases. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing, so if you have any questions or concerns, please talk with him first. Took a look at pretrial services workup for Mr. Potay. Did note he was a 4 and 5 on the NCFTA scales, and steps court eligible. The county attorney is recommending pretrial services release and steps court evaluation on both cases. Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Defense, I am inclined to release Mr. Potay to pretrial services and schedule a steps hearing evaluation, but if you need a chance to talk with him, please feel free to mute and do so.
That all involves your. Sure.
I'm sorry?
Sorry. Yes, Your Honor. He understands what's involved with steps. He wants to do it. He's okay waiting time. All right.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Potay, on both your cases, I'm going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. What that means is once you're released, you're going to have to contact them and submit any monitoring or treatment. So if they tell you to do something, you got to do it. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. and I'm going to set 2 hearings for you. The first is going to be on July 14th at 9 a.m. The second will be a placeholder just in case that first hearing doesn't end well. And that hearing is going to be on August 21st at 1:30 in the afternoon. So, sir, again, you're going to be released later this evening. Please make sure and contact pretrial services as well as your attorney and stay in contact with them so that you're up to date on what's coming next for you. And that's all I have for you, sir. Thank you. You're excused.
Go outside and sit up.
Good evening. Can you please tell me your full name and date of birth?
Hello, Your Honor. Gary Robinson, 9/26/73.
Mr. Robinson, you're being seen here this evening on one charge, and that is domestic violence, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It's alleged to have been committed earlier today. To know you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be held against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. The attorney seated right next to you is going to be assisting you in this hearing, so if you have any questions or concerns, please talk with him before saying anything out loud. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, sir.
Taking a look at pretrial services report. Didn't note any other holds or warrants. Mr. Robinson was rated at 2 and 2 on the NCAA FTA scales. The alleged victim in this case does object to release or further contact. Community ties were verified, and there is a note of a prior misdemeanor conviction for a domestic violence offense out of Nevada. County Attorney's Office is recommending $25,000 bond, trial services. Anything to add from the state?
Judge, I'll just note my concern here is the presence of a weapon and the fact that it was pointed at the victim. That combined with the Form 4C in this case, which notes an elevated risk to the victim. Furthermore, I'm concerned because I didn't see anything in the pretrial services report regarding separate housing away from the victim. So for all those reasons, I'm asking for a $25,000 bond plus pretrial services if it's posted.
Thank you. Defense?
1 second, Your Honor. If we can mute, I want to talk to him about.
Go ahead.
So first off, to correct the state on this, there is plenty of indication that he has residence separate from the victim. The victim herself has indicated that she is planning to leave their shared residence. The pretrial services also confirmed residence with his mother if he needs someplace else to stay in the interim. He's indicated to me he has several other family members in town that he can stay with, including his sister. I understand the state's concern as far as pointing a firearm at her. Obviously, I talked to him a little bit about that. I'm not going to litigate the facts of the case, but he's very much denies that aspect of it. To the extent that there is a concern that a firearm may have been used in this case, he acknowledged that the accusations of a firearm probably come from the fact that the victim is well aware that he owns firearms. Regardless, again, I'm not going to litigate. I did speak with him. He would be willing to abide by any conditions to impound or restrict any access to guns whenever the court feels it's necessary to make sure he has no access to guns while he's out. He has the single now nearly 20-year-old misdemeanor conviction, and otherwise basically has no criminal history otherwise and has low scores. So given the fact that he does have confirmed housing separate from the victim, given the fact that he's scoring a 2 and a 2, and given his lack of criminal history, with all no contact, no firearm, whatever restrictions the court wants to order on that, that's released to pretrial services.
Thank you. Having the order, bond of $10,000 cash secured, and further order that if Mr. Robinson does post a bond, that he be released to the supervision of pretrial services. I will order that he surrender any firearms in his possession to law enforcement within 48 hours of release, and that he possess no firearms or weapons until authorized by a court. I'll order that he not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs or commit any act of domestic violence, and have absolutely no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, to include going to where he works or resides. Now, Mr. Robinson, because you do reside with the alleged victim, I will authorize you to return to the home one time with the police escort to gather any personal belongings. If the victim does elect to stay in the residence, you may return one time with the police escort. The way that'll work is you'll contact local law enforcement. You can call 311, the non-emergency line. You'll arrange for them to the residence, remain with you while you gather belongings, and then you will leave with them. Otherwise, you are not allowed to go to that residence under any circumstances. Do you understand that, sir?
I understand. Yeah.
Then I'm also going to set your preliminary hearing for July 17th at 1:30 in the afternoon. I think, sir, that's all I have for you. You're excused. All right, just give me 1 second. All right. That appears to be everything for the evening. Thanks, everybody. Be excused.
Thanks, Judge.